have just one more question for anyone can really answer this, but I'm wondering, do you guys see this as a dystopia? Is it a dark vision of a very near future that could be happening like in the next 2 seconds?
I think it's already happening. I'm pretty paranoid. Thank you, Jonah and Greg. I honestly believe that, art imitates life, and, like Jonah said, this didn't come out of the sky. This is from his own personal experience, and I think this is something we've tapped into what is actually going on. I mean, if you pay attention, there are cameras everywhere, and they're always on. You think that camera at the light is just clicking when you run the light. It's on when you're at the light. It's watching you text. It's watching you do other things you might not want to be seen on camera doing. But we are definitely being watched.
I mean, look at the alleged phone surveillance in London. I mean, there's a perfect example right there that it's creeping more and more into our society.
Yeah, and I would say I don't think it's exactly a dystopia. I don't think Greg and I not and our amazing writing staff, many of whom are here today. So yeah, guys. All of us kind of working week to week to look at both sides of it. Technology is always the upside, the downside. Dystopia would tilt it all in the negative, but I actually think, and I think, Finch would agree with this, that there are as many benefits that come out of these technologies. I mean, we all enjoy them, and I think for most of us these days, it's mainly the benefit that we see. But there's a flip side to that as well. There's sort of the stranger question of who's doing what with all of this data that we're generating. Everyone in this room has a phone in their pocket, and it's recording your position, your location, your velocity, your mood, 1,000 times a second, and it's kind of interesting. So the show's a little bit about not so much a dystopian vision of where we're at, but recognizing the fact that things are getting a little weird, and they're going to get a little weirder.
Yeah, and I think the more paranoid we get, the more audiences are going to be hungry for heroes like Finch and Reese, and I think that's why this show is so catching people's imagination, which is fantastic. So we're going to take questions from the floor now. Just going to hand it over. I'm not sure why people are hunched over. Okay.
We were told to hunch over. Well, first of all, I wanted to say that I really love the show. I'm a huge fan of Michael Emerson from Lost. I'm also a huge fan of yours, Jim. I actually loved you in the remake of The Prisoner. I loved you as Jesus. I loved you in all kinds of different, The Thin Red Line. And I thought, when I heard you were in this show, my interest went up. I thought, this is very interesting that they decided to cast you specifically. And I think that there's an interesting dichotomy between Michael Emerson and yourself. I don't know if it's true or not. I kind of make this up in my mind, but I thought it'd be very interesting for the two of you representing certain ideas to work those things out. An interesting odd couple. And Jonathan, I just love the things that you've written. That's what it...
Thank you.
But anyway, okay, all right. My question is this.
No, he can go on. He can keep.
No. And I love you too, Kevin and Tariq. Okay, and I love Amy Aker. Here we go. The question is that when I saw this show, I figured it was going to be about the singularity. And so I was kind of waiting to see if that's maybe where you were going. And I know that probably not everybody here knows what I'm talking about. But then I thought, is the show about what is the nature of God?
Greg is going to handle that one.
Oh, Lord. Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for putting on this show. My question is to the writers. You have such interesting characters. They're so dynamic. Like Hot Mama. Hot Mama Carter. I've never seen anything like that.
Sure wasn't me?
And So I was wondering, where do you get the inspiration for these characters?
Did he just hit on her in sign language?
Yep. It's kind of great.
I'm sorry, I'm still reeling from that. That was awesome.
Thank you for that. I will now be hot mama on the set. Thanks.
That's right. You gotta love Comic-Con. Part of it started. I mean, the fun thing about TV is we sort of embarked on this voyage together about 18 months ago. And you keep going, and it keeps changing. So part of the inspiration for the characters in the first place, obviously superhero tropes. I've worked, spent a lot of time thinking about superheroes, and sort of broke the pieces apart into a number of different characters. We have 4 characters who represent different aspects of that, and sort of going back to the sidekick question, ain't no sidekicks here. Everybody it's 4 characters who are very, very private, very unique people who are all kind of working with each other, but investigating each other, and it's a pretty cool conundrum. But what happens, which is really cool, is you get into it with all of us, with this kind of amazing cast and crew that we've put together, and then the feedback loop kicks in. And you start seeing characteristics. Some of it comes from the writer's room, a lot of it comes back from set, some of it comes from post, and you keep working and refining and figuring out who these people are. But the show's about secrets. We got a lot of interesting secrets left to uncover.